workers, thank you. For workers, for businesses, and also for communities. We're going to do a growth mindset exercise. In fact, the benefits and also growth mindset will be breakouts. We'll have a 2-minute break around the 7 o'clock hour, and then we will hear your presentations on your customer discovery tool and competitive landscape. And then following that, you'll have some direction, some information on your interviews, which we will be working on for field work for this coming week. All right, so let's start off. I've mentioned the benefits are okay. We're gonna begin with some breakout rooms. We want you to think about benefits of co-ops again. You will be asked to think of it as it relates to workers, as I said earlier, your workers, your businesses, and your communities. How are you connecting? What are the benefits of worker-owned co-ops, or what are the benefits of cooperatives? That's all you have to do is brainstorming. So you'll be in your groups for about 5 minutes. Oh, no, well.
No,
yeah,
actually, I mean, we're going to ask them to think about all three though, right? Like, so what's
right,
the
all
benefit
three,
of
all three.
worker-owned
Right.
co-ops
Yes.
for
In fact, I have a
community?
little
Okay.
thing I'll show you.
Are you going to put in the chat?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, great. So they'll have 10 minutes in their small group.
Okay, yeah.
But for
Kristen's
all
really
three
the
groups.
timekeeper, so she has a lot of, she's much better at that than I am, keeping the time. All right, just a sec.
But there will be a scribe. If you can just identify a person in each group to jot down what you're brainstorming. And then we'll come back to the large group and share. And if you can notice your group number too, actually, because that would help.
It would be ideal if you could notice your group number.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Okay. All right.
All right. So I'm just going to put inside the chat also, Cynthia, maybe just how worker co-ops benefit those three groups.
Yeah,
Is that
I'm putting, that's fine.
okay?
Okay. My little doohickey is just not acting right, but okay, got it. Finally. All right, so you can use this particular form,
Oh, nice.
Just how worker co-ops benefit community, business itself, and also the workers. And 10 minutes. Thanks.
Okay,
We'll
great.
see.
There we go. Hopefully you get your invitation.
Miss Cynthia, I just sent you a request. Can you give me requests for my Gmail that I'm using?
She
I
went
tried to
into you couldn't access it.
No.
Let me see if I can
Okay.
get in there. She went into a small group. So
Okay.
I will. Where is she? Let me see where she went.
Okay.
She's
And
in.
can you resend me to my group? Oh, it's probably up there. Break.
Let's see. Where are you? You are in room 1. You got it. Okay. I'm gonna try to get that to you, Raquel. Do you see yours? You're in room 2. Do you see an invitation? I'm gonna go to Cynthia's thing. Ah, darn it. I think I'm gonna join Cynthia's group and tell her. Raquel, I am hoping that you can see your invitation to room 2, but in the meantime, I'm actually going over to where Cynthia is, which she is in. Where is she? Where'd she go? She's in room 3. I'm going to just let her know that we need some access to her form.
And so we had under that, not yet is powerful praise because it leaves more room for growth. Rewrite your mindset. We put under that, consider building mindsets where you are naturally acknowledge faults and look for ways to overcome them. Mindsets where challenges are viewed as opportunities. Focus on effort, praising the effort people put in rather than their abilities. Enjoy the process over the result. Value the process and find joy in putting in effort and learning. Do things that are tough. Drive into challenges. Get feedback proactively. We have under that, develop an instinct/practice for asking for feedback often. Abide by brain plasticity. Well, we kind of had a hard time at first trying to define what that actually means. So what we put under that is our brain is always making new pathways and it's expanding. So that's what we came up with that. And don't look for approval all the time. Instead of focusing on what others think, focus on your own learning and growth. Be persistent with your purpose. Be open to changing how you pursue your purpose. But be unstoppable and in discerning and following it. The last one, Anita, I can't really see. What is that? Introspective. I can't really
Right,
see.
introspection offers opportunities to take a fresh look at ourselves,
Yes.
to rewire certain mindsets, to ask ourselves questions.
And that's where we are.
All right.
Okay, we
Anybody?
saw and we conquered.
Right. All right, and there was the one more when we fail, ask, what could we do differently, what worked well and what didn't, that's
Oh.
when you ask different questions. There were some context clues in there that,
Yes.
I must
Yes.
say, helped out a little bit, but it was fun nonetheless to think about, again, the mindset and growth mindset is what we are embracing. Whenever we have that fixed mindset, just give ourselves that talk, even if it takes talking to somebody else sometimes to get us out of that mindset, that we can adapt a growth mindset instead. So I think that's great.
Did anybody have anything different?
Yeah.
Yes.
About the same.
Okay. I will
Shows you
stop sharing.
Let's collective thinking right there. All right. So it's time for a break. Let's break for 2, 3 minutes. 2, 3. We're gonna have 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to grab a bite. You have 3 minutes to, rest, stretch, do whatever, potty break.
And I just want to pause and just tell you guys, when we come back, if people can remind me to record, because tonight I didn't record when we had all the beautiful conversation around how co-ops matter. You will have that all written down. And also when Asada made that key point about growth mindset and what Cynthia was saying about it, I am truly sorry. But if people could help me remember to re-record, I will be super, super helpful. That would just be really helpful for me. Thank you. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. Okay, I am going over there.
Okay, so everybody's here. I'm done. I'm gonna shut up this time. And Lisa, I think you've been in every group I've been in.
I was just about to say that, actually. I was like, oh, Miss Cynthia, we meet again.
Yeah. So who is it that I have not spoken to that much? Okay, Tracy, you got the music. I'm thankful for that. Raquel,
Welcome.
good to see you again, Raquel. And Connie, you're with which cooperative again? Oh, you're
Third Ward,
Okay,
child care.
that's your third name too, isn't it?
What?
The name's changed.
Oh, yes, it did.
It was We're the Ones, then it was Yeah, okay, that's good. All right, identify people to interview. All right, so you have an opportunity, in looking at this, to talk about it, to come up with what it is that you can do from your perspective. Does anybody want to just kind of facilitate this section based on the information that's before you?
Kind of choppy, and I don't know if like my brain battery is winding down.
Okay, let's brain battery. I thank you for acknowledging that. But all right, so what you're to do is just to think about, the people that surround you, typically your social circles, your family, friends, neighbors. These are identifying the people you can interview for your business. You have if there's a bakery on here, I don't think we have a bakery represented here. But if there is a
Yes.
childcare, oh, who's the baker? Oh, Eve, I didn't see you.
Yeah. Eve
Okay,
and
I'm sorry.
Asia. It's okay.
Right. So we have a bakery, we have childcare, we have doula, we have Tracy, who are you with again?
Star Wars, childcare.
Okay, with childcare as well.
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
So think about the people that you will interview for this field, your field work, and people that you need to interview in order to understand your customers better. That's basically it. So as you think through all these connections, do some appear to be in your target markets? That's the question. And as you share your personas with the other co-op U participants, perhaps they can identify someone within their social circle it should be for you to interview there. Once you begin interviewing, hopefully your interviewees will be referring other people to you. Facebook might be helpful or useful. It tells you who your mutual friends are, and it's also closed community groups with members that answer posts reflecting their role in the community. So, and it all talks about LinkedIn as well. So, am I sharing my screen? You all see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, Kristen's still sharing her screen.
So are we just kind of brainstorming who these people would be and speaking to the group right now? Is that what?
Right. That's that's
Okay.
what you're doing.
I could go and then you can help direct me if I'm not answering the
Oh,
question.
and wait a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. And this is where you actually giving your customer discovery tool. You can refer to your customer discovery tool. Remember
Yes.
from your homework? Okay. Might be. Okay. So that's what I want to make sure you're doing too.
So Asia and I, we weren't able to complete our homework just yet. We do have a community event coming up in the next couple of weeks. We will be doing that. So I'll just go quickly. But to answer the other questions, so the people in, at least I'll say my social circle. So I've been in the restaurant business for about 15 years. And even though it was a burger cafe and we're doing a bakery now, the customer base will kind of possibly overlap, but it's, totally different businesses. And I also worked with Earl's Grill, which is in the community in which we're building. So I would ask, Earl's Grill and people who I've been working with, along with Downtown Crenshaw, who is the organization that's been involved in getting and raising community awareness for like anti-gentrification practices. So get someone at least in that org to speak to, because they've been, working and pounding the pavement with the community about what some of the needs are. And then when we have our event coming up, to see if there are any interest within the community that could give us feedback about, them being a customer, being able to kind of talk to them and interview them a little bit more. So that would be the first kind of brainstorm that we've worked on.
Okay. All right. That's great. And so you say you haven't been able to finish your customer discovery tool just yet.
Correct, because we're just developing now and we're just kind of introducing ourselves to the community in the next couple of weeks.
All right. I just remembered, I just shared with you information that Kristen's gonna probably share with you afterwards. And if anybody else, you're the only person here from Crenshaw,
And Asia, I think.
right now.
No, yeah, I'm here as well.
Oh, Asia. Okay, thank you, Asia. Yeah. Okay, so, all right. I might come back to you for a couple of questions. But think about it again, you know, in terms of your market and what are you looking for? And as you listen to some of the others share, you know, perhaps we can, you.
But
will-
Asia may have something to add.
Asia, do you have anything to add to what Eve?
I mean, yeah, our customer base would be basically, I have been researching. There's basically like, it's a melting pot in our community. So it's 55% Black in the Laverne area. It's like 25 or 29% Hispanic. So we would be basically trying to cater to different demographics. And in my bakery, I bake for a company called Tender Greens. So I can do gluten-free, vegan dishes. It would just basically be creating a menu that would reach out to every demographic. And I've worked in several different avenues in Black restaurants, white restaurants. So I'm classically trained by a few different chefs. So I don't think that would be hard to reach any demographic that we would be in. So
Okay, all right, well, that's good to know. How about,
Sada has her hand raised.
Asada, I didn't even know you were in this group.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I too, we have a homework meeting, but we got confused, Miss Cynthia. We didn't do the right homework, but I just wanted to tell my group, we are part of another cooperative. So
Right.
in that cooperative is caregivers and community health workers, and they have children. And so they are like our target population. In fact, starting a child care cooperative to support working parents, you know, like our caregivers and our community health workers, so we can interview them. You know, they're already our coworkers. They already have children, so we can interview them as our target population. And then Tracy lives in the public housing community that we're trying to focus our effort in. And so Tracy, we can find some parents in that community and interview them because they're our target population.
Okay. And you already know what you know about how much do you know about your target market, you know, other than.
We do, because they did a comprehensive needs assessment. Thank you, Miss Cynthia. So we can use that comprehensive needs assessment that tells us, one, how many parents need childcare, how many parents have childcare. We can also look at their income levels, right? Because we need to figure that out. And so we can deal with that. So we have some data on them. And they also said the things that they wanted, like, arts and crafts and these things. So we can also use that information to inform the type of, activities or amenities that we create in our caregiving, in our child.
Okay, great. And the people who are there, I mean, the assessment that you did were on the people who live in that community in general, right?
Yes, and remember, we're doing this because the grant or the HUD says that these are the services you have to deliver. So we're trying to get ahead of the HUD initiative by already setting up the co-op to say we're ready to serve this community.
Okay, and so long-term, you know, that community is going to be there, and the growth in terms of what children and all that, that's.
Yeah.
anticipated.
And I should say another part, there is a Collaborative for Children, which is a nonprofit that works with childcare and home care to increase their quality so that they can get like this, high quality designation to increase their funding. So we should also reach out to them because they would be an important partner, right? And a supportive organization for our work.
Okay, that's great. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we have, how about Southern Bee Alliance?
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Okay, thanks, Raquel.
We did complete it, but I'm not sure if we did it right, so we're gonna go with what we got, and you can tell me what you think.
There's no right or wrong here.
Okay, so we filled out this customer profile basically with like these three personas
Right.
at potential various entry points for our business. So our first customer's name is Felicia, and this is a Black birthing pregnant person. They care about our products or service because we support improving birth outcomes, because this person wants an empowering birth experience, and because they want to live. Are there any barriers to them purchasing our product or service? We said cost could be a barrier. However, we're working to make sure that folks can access our services regardless of their ability to pay.
So you're saying cost in terms of just the ability to pay, but not how, excuse me. How about things like transportation, or would that feed into cost?
Not necessarily, because for the most part, we're going to the clients.
You're going to them, okay.
Uh-huh.
Makes sense.
And what's our promise to them? To provide high quality care regardless of their ability to pay.
Okay, so I'm just curious, when you have your visits are always home visits, not just the birthing process, but when they have those 2 visits that they are due prior to and after, I think.
Yep.
They're all at home.
They're at home so long as the client is comfortable with that. So for the most part, those visits are done in the comfort of their own home. But if for any reason the client does not want the doula or the birth worker in their home, they're open to arrange that visit somewhere else. And typically it's something that is accessible to the client. So if there's a nearby library or Starbucks or something like that, that they're more comfortable meeting at.
Okay, excellent.
Uh-huh.
Let's hear,
So, I'm sorry, did you?
I said your next persona.
Oh yeah, so our next persona is Mark, who is, at a different point of entry for our business, and he's not our customer, basically. He's only our customer only under this one specific circumstance that I'll get to. So what we know about Mark is he's white, male, and he has no interest in having children. Again, we provide birthing support services to Black and Indigenous folks, and he doesn't fall into any of those categories.
Right.
Why do they care about this product or service? Either he doesn't care about our products or services, or he has a philanthropic or advocacy interest. So he's interested in supporting our work, even though he may not benefit directly from it. Are there any barriers to him purchasing our product or service? So again, he's just not our target market, so there is no barrier. We wouldn't necessarily be turning him away, but we wouldn't be marketing to him either, if that makes sense.
Okay, but you would interview him.
I'm sorry?
And he would be one of the people the type you would interview, just say Mark, the persona. That would be someone that you would interview, because that's one of the things we're gonna follow up with from this particular activity.
Yeah,
So-
well, that's why I say I don't know if we did it right, because I don't
Right,
know
well,
that we
no.
would interview Mark. I think, in terms of being able to identify where philanthropic support or additional advocacy support could come from could be helpful. But even in finding somebody who is a white man that wants to support in that way could be very difficult.
Right, I think right now we're looking at your target market, who are the people who are gonna really build your business from the standpoint of the customer, who's your customer, who are the people you're gonna serve. And that philanthropic folk, they do come in, as it's not to say you can't interview them. I mean, if there are people that you know of, for instance, who are very supportive of what you do, then, they can be just that, support. But this is,
And then that's where I kind of didn't have clarity, because I thought the instructions were, and when our group met, we thought the instructions were to identify.
people that your neighbors and your friends and your family members and anybody.
No, we thought it was to identify folks who would be our customers and also identify those who specifically would not be our customers. So I think for us, the instructions were not clear, because that's what we filled this out based on.
That's fine. That's fine. Who's your first?
And then our last customer is Drea. What we know about them: they're 20 years old, indigenous, and interested in learning about family planning options. They desire to start their family in 4 to 5 years and want to be informed about their decisions. So this is a person at another entry point that is not quite ready to be our customer, but maybe in the next 4 to 5 years. They care about this product or service because they want to be educated about their options. They want to plan and be able to reduce fear and anxiety around family planning. And they are looking for services that are catered to them. This person also will know they can have culturally competent care and be informed. And are there any barriers to them purchasing the product or service? There are no barriers. However, most of our services will focus on the perinatal period. Some providers will have a specialty in fertility. And what's our promise to them? Culturally congruent care that is affordable and accessible, ensuring this level of care is sustainable and will be available for this customer in the future. So we should be identifying folks who would only be our customers.
Well, that's what you're going to concentrate on, not only, but people, again, who would be within, and the next activity, or when Kristen, brings us out of this meeting, you'll understand, you'll be able to share more and have a clear picture of what you're to do. But we're targeting, we're looking at your target market more than anything else right now. But I think what you've done is excellent. Even the idea that, you have this category, you have these people who are very interested in supporting, but they're just not there yet. They're not actually, going to be involved with the birthing process, but they, have a vested interest in terms of what they actually give, vested in terms of community, and helping out. And philanthropy is one of the things that we don't take advantage of, I think, as much as we should. Definitely. Thank you very much for Raquel for that report, because I thought it was good. It was made me think, in terms of just your business, just the different even services that you provide. And that's the thing we want to make sure we do, is cover all of the services that we provide. We say we're going to do this, who are we targeting? Good. All right, so we
basically
have
like listing our services and then listing who would want those services or be seeking those services. Is that more in alignment with what we're looking? Okay.
Right, that too, yes.
Okay.
And Miss Cynthia, I totally didn't, I don't know why I couldn't understand the homework assignment. I mean, but can you make sure, can you link the particular assignment, or just remind me what it was in the folder?
Yeah, let me send you what she just filled out, okay? For one. It was the tool. Now I sent out, the day after, it's either late night tonight or the day after, I will send out a message to everyone with the actual links. And I made sure I did that this particular time, unless for some reason you didn't get it.
I think I must have just used the old email, because that's what I thought because we have a homework meeting. We were working on it on Monday, but we just, I don't know, we got turned around.
Okay.
I'm still struggling.
Everyone in your group, I'm gonna try to, make sure I send it out. This was the Discover tool that you used. Yeah, this was the tool that she filled out. And again, don't fret, if you haven't done it, because you get a chance to do it this week. And I will again send out everything that you need this evening or by tomorrow noon. So you'll know. Crystal just joined us from Southern B, and we have Jacqueline. Are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm sitting in my car. So.
Okay. Are we all back or something? I'm seeing Reddy. Reddy, you're with
Did we come
you're
back?
with the Parable of the Sword,
I
right?
I think I fell out of the room.
Oh, fell out of the room. Okay. And okay, Tracy as well. Tracy, were you here all the time? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Jacqueline is with Cherished Hearts. You weren't with us last week, but you were with us the first week, and so it's good to see you. Again, we have another doula for those of you who with Parable of the Sword. Then Mila, who's not here tonight. We have Jacqueline. Mila's with 90, and
Yep.
Jacqueline. Okay. All right. Do you have anything you would share? Do you get with us relative to?
So what I discovered as you guys were talking, I can kind of answer that because I did not do the assignment. I didn't see the assignment, but I can do it. Our target market, like one of our target market would actually be teenage pregnant people. And that is because part of our collective, we do already have teenage doulas that will be able to do peer mentorship. So people between the ages of 13 and 21 would be our targeted marketing, and mostly the high school students, because we would actually bring it into the high school, and then people of childbearing ages that are over. So it'd be like, there will be one where it's like 14 through 21, and then our other would be the older people of childbearing ages. We would offer childbirth education, and we would do a lot of removing of the barriers, because like what we realized so one thing about us is we're basically going to work in some of the low income housing here in Cincinnati. And so we understand that there are certain resources that need to be put in place before we can even talk about pregnancy, because if your basic needs aren't being met, you can't focus on your pregnancy. So we would have like our targeted communities. Those that live in Cincinnati, I can tell you our targeting communities would be Winton Hills, the Southwest Mill Creek corridor, so that would be North Fairmount, South Fairmount, English Woods, and Millville Moosewood. And those are all HUD housing, low income housing. And we're strategically marketing there for 3 reasons. One of those is because when we look at the disparities when it comes to maternal health is higher in those areas. But the other thing is its potential in order to offer these services, like you could be like, basically you can get to become a doula or a birth worker. So it's like kind of a 2-tiered approach. So we would specifically market those neighborhoods.
Okay.
And that's all I got for now. From what I filled out or what y'all said.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I noticed, I'm just checking some of these messages. I see that somebody commented that good job with the doulas. I guess the fact that you do offer services to teens here. Wow, that's amazing. Jacqueline, teen doulas. Have a teen who is interested in birth work. Would love to connect with you. Okay, that's from Reddy. Was that Reddy? Or someone? Who else? Who was that?
That was me.
That was Raquel. Raquel, I
Oh,
wanted to
Raquel.
with you
Okay, I see. Yeah, that was Raquel. Sorry about
I
that.
feel like I met you the first week.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
I didn't hear you talk about the teen doulas, and that's really interesting. I'm curious to see how that unfolds. It sounds like that's going to be really powerful and effective.
So we have
and
2
just think-
teenage doulas that we're piloting it out with. So one of them is 17 and the other one is a fresh 18. So one of them is a junior in high school and the other one just graduated last year.
Yeah. I think that's amazing. I've met a couple white birth workers who started out in their teens and started out in college, and I was like, how amazing it could be to actually start your path at that time, as opposed to, I know a lot of us don't get it into it after we have our first baby in our late 20s, 30s sometimes, and even later. So that's really interesting. I'm excited to see that happening.
Okay, so thank you very much for your sharing, Jacqueline, and also have, Anita, did you have anything you wanted to add? Because you haven't had a chance to talk to Mila, I'm sure, this week, or have you connected with her at all? You're on mute, you're muted.
Sorry, I thought I hit unmute. No, I got to share it in the groups and things, and so I think I'm okay at the moment, just taking it all in. I don't have I didn't get a chance to connect with Mila this week, so I don't have any. Did I say her name right?
Yes,
With nine
Mila.
I, yeah. So I
Nina.
don't have, yeah, her to get that. Yeah, no, I'm okay.
Okay, all
I'll
right,
let her
good,
know.
good. And I think we've heard from Third Ward already. We've heard from Crenshaw, Southern Beak, and and then also Cherished Hearts. We've heard from everyone. And so we're going to be going back into the larger group in a minute or any second here. As I have noticed that there are a couple of folk who say, so there's already a weekly farmers market in the area we will be serving, and we'll reach out. Oh, okay, Crenshaw. Okay, thank you for that comment, Eve. I had missed that earlier too. But for those of you who are having difficulty with the links, I will definitely try to work on that. I'm trying to send it to where it's linking only, it should only link to that one document, but if, whatever documents I send you, just make sure you make a copy of it. You know, because otherwise you'll all be working on the same document. And to try to unlink it to that larger folder, it could be difficult to maneuver sometimes, but the way it's designed right now, it's just power and numbers. And then when you go to power and numbers cohort 4, it'll have, you know, some different folders under that, and it may be confusing as to which folder. The idea was that you all were to put your information in your individual folders that have been labeled under, under power and numbers. And I could share that with you if you want to see what it looks like. I could try to share it with you. Like I say it, like the kids say, it's complicated. To trying to share it with you. But okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. So, when you go into I'm going into everything but what I want. Let's see what happens when I share this. No. That's definitely. What I wanted to open is not opening. Okay. One of these days, I'm going to get to the point where when I'm sharing, it'll come up like that. I'm looking right at the document that I want. Okay, this is what I want.
You can describe it to us.
Let's see if it comes up now. I can. Here we go. All right, so power numbers this is what it looks like. When you go into cohort 4, power numbers, that's what it looks like. And there are your teams, cohort 4 teams. Click on it. Anita's name is first because she's not really, she's on a team, but I just have her separate because, she's here to observe. And then you see all of your teams listed. I've already changed Third Ward Child Care Cooperative. And underneath each one of your teams, there are documents that you will have shared with me that I would share with you, and you can place back into your folder. And making sure you paste it back into your folder and not someone else's folder. Also, if you go under, go back to teams, or no, before teams, excuse me. Okay, this is the master. These are all the different power numbers groups, but you only need to have yours. I can see it's there we go. Cohort number 4, always teams, guiding documents, your weekly materials. So the first 2 weeks are here. I'm gonna add a week tonight, after this session. So you can pull all of this up.
And Miss Cynthia, week 2 is where that assignment was?
Yes. Discover your customers and customer landscape.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
That's week 2.
Okay, I got it. I think I got it. So weekly materials is what we need.
Yeah, weekly materials, it'll be under there, and they'll also make sure that you get the link, that takes you directly to the documents. That would be my desire. You have to remember to make a copy and rename it to whatever your team is, of course, because I've had some beautiful work erased or written over because it wasn't copied. All right. Does that help at all? All right, good. I guess no
Yeah,
comments.
very helpful. Thank you
Okay.
for walking us
All right,
through
you're
that.
certainly welcome. All right, so then we are at a point where we can go back. Let's see, I guess there's more time. We are actually to be done with that particular section at 7:40, where we were to present again. All right.
I think we're in the main room.
Huh?
Aren't we in the main room?
Yeah, we're in the
Yeah, they're
main.
gonna come back and meet
They're
us.
supposed to be coming
Oh,
back to
okay.
us. They're supposed to be coming back to us, and with only 6 minutes left, it tells me that there was a pretty lively discussion in the other group as well. I think, what are some of your takeaways for this evening?
You should pop in her room like she pop in yours.
What are you, what are some of the takeaways for this evening? Yeah,
I would say keep striving, keep going, don't give up. Work hard at what you do because there is something at the end of this rainbow. It's not gonna always be easy.
yes. All right. That's good. Good stuff. Anybody
And
else?
keep jamming, y'all. Keep jamming. Oh, I gotta add that in there too. Keep jamming.
Keep jamming. Some people just started jamming.
Yes. Well, we finna start.
It's like, right. Be encouraged, right?
Yes. Be encouraged. Yes, ma'am.
Be encouraged. Any other takeaways? How about mindset?
Having an open mindset.
Growth mindset.
For those of you who have been in this business for a minute, have you encountered conflict in any way? in your teams? And how do you, we don't look for that, but you know, sometimes it happens. I'm just curious. All right, that'll be part of that growth mindset too, right? So we're saying that if we're connecting to our,
I know.
everybody's
We
joining
only
us.
have 4 minutes left. So,
No, you all got into it, didn't you?
yeah, but you
Mhm.
guys, did you have extra time?
We did. We had a little bit of time because we were in the main room and we were like, okay.
Nice.
we
Oh,
did
you have
just
extra time.
share.
All right, lovely people. We have 4 more minutes, and here's what we would like to talk about. It's actually what the field work is this week. Most of you had a chance to do the discover your customer landscape, right? And you identified 3 different personas or potential customers. And what the goal is this week and going forward is to really verify that those real customers exist. A lot of you have done some deep research in this or have done some pop-ups or some things, which is outstanding and helpful. And then as we get closer to building the most feasible, cooperative possible, the most impactful, we want to find. So I remember, I think like we want to find it. One of the personas in one of our groups was named Keisha. Who are the Keishas out there, right? Can we find like 5 of them? Can everyone on your team interview 1 or 2 people this week and see, did you all get the promise right? Are you curious about affordability and how your pricing might work and what would be considered affordable? Like find the Keishas or the Terrells or whoever your personas were. And when you find 5 of them, you can start to feel like, okay, I think this is a real customer segment, right? And what I want to show you on this is, let me just try to share my screen real quick. This is something you all can look at also. Oh, darn. Well, this is our lovely, let me see. There we go. So what you'll find is tips on scheduling an interview with people in your, will be in your Google Drive. It's also in the Co-op U manual. You'll find tips on interviewing to learn. Our focus again is on learning and trying to create a space where lots of people actually want to be friendly and sort of respond the way they think you want them to respond. Not everyone. Some people are the exact opposite, but you want to create a space where they will give you real feedback. And so please help me understand where my assumptions may be wrong. How can you help me improve this idea we have? You know, and so you can show them your co-op concept or your customer persona. You can all do all sorts of things, but it's useful to think about what you want to learn. So if pricing and understanding what people's barriers are, if you want to learn more about what the price is, if you want to, that would work for people, if you want to learn more about their transportation
Something to read
barriers.
if you want to read a bedtime story.
Okay. We heard about a bedtime story, which sounds nice to me, but you'll also want to be paying attention that body language and tone matter a lot. In terms of finding people to interview, this is a whole suggestion on that. It's thinking about your own social circles, who you are interacting with. It's thinking about who your neighbors are interacting. I mean, just this has all kinds of ideas. I'm doing it really quickly because it's 7:59 and I see Marilyn has her hand up. So Marilyn, what would you like to say?
Yes, everything, and it's great that you said that, because when we take the residents, they come to the laundromat. I've done videos and a questionnaire, sort of. It's informal, and they give the feedback. So when you ask for 5 Keishas or Pauls or Terrells, that's already documented in some of the videos that I've done when we're at the laundromat.
The one thing I want for people to be careful about though, is if you say, do you want a laundromat or do you want a restaurant like that you can walk to that is affordable? Like everyone's going to say yes. Right?
Well, we ask, I'm careful about that too, because
Okay.
how do you feel about it? I don't ask, do you want a laundromat? But they're forthcoming in their responses, and you could tell that they're honest. You know, everybody like, oh my God, this is such a wonderful thing. I really need it because of, and then they go into their explanation. So it's already been documented as far as our co-op is concerned.
So then what you might want to do is figure out what you want to know next. Like, do you want to know how much do people spend on laundry every week, every month, like to start to get a sense of that, to get a sense of what might be possible, or how many people have ever used a fold and wash service? Like, think about what it is that would be most useful to your co-op.
Okay.
And we are past time, and we will keep getting better at moderating this. It sounds like Cynthia did a rocking job, and I think you
No.
had 4 co-ops.
What I want to thank you for is feedback on getting those folders out there with the links to you all, so that you can link up to your assignments more easily, perhaps. And have a great week, everyone.
You
Thank you
too.
very much for
Good
your
night.
participation. Good
Awesome
night.
week. Bye-bye.
Y'all have a good night and a great